Good morning. Welcome, family of Motherland Shift. It's a pleasure to come back and continue with our series, the Paradigm Shift to Freedom. And as we shared before during our previous video, this series has to shift us, help us shift, should I say, because it's self-management here. Help us shift from where we used to be in a 3D dimension that actually bound us here on earth into the 5D where we self-manage our lives by the power that the Almighty has actually attributed or has given to each one of us. This is no longer a time for ignorance. Ignorance has no place, because if you walk in ignorance, you won't be able actually to enter into the new life we entering. We know that our lives as we used to have it, we used to know it, it's over, it's gone. You can force it if you want to force it. Try to fight against what the Almighty is doing, against what the universe is setting up right now, but you will fail. That's a guarantee that you will fail, because it's not going to work, because the new life that we're going to have is self-managed and you walk by love. The most important ingredient is love. Then comes righteousness, justice, peace, tolerance, gratitude. So it's different from the me, myself, and I life that we used to have, and based on opinion from people, institutions, and group cliques. No, it's not going to work like that anymore. There's a connected consciousness coming together and then pooling all our resources together. And as we do that, we pool our resources. Bear in mind, I'm talking about the energy, the power that we are pulling together. It's going to change the collective consciousness, therefore the collective goodness. So, without any further ado, I have to go, because we started with the first laws that govern the universe, and we are going to carry on with the rest of the law so that we can finish this series and go back and start actually developing each one of the laws separately, or other, if you want, section of the paradigm shift to freedom. I want us to know, as I said, that this is a connective consciousness. We're connecting together for a better purpose, better life. Life as we used to know it is over. It's a new life. Therefore, you have to trade your old ones for the new ones that is capable of conducting, that is if you want, is conducive of the new, that is right here. It's here. It's here. The struggle you see going around the world and in your own life, it's because that new life is here. All right? So there's no point of struggling by pushing, holding to materials, holding to the things you gather but never possessed, holding to things that don't matter really for the new life we're entering into, the new matrix. There's no point. Now, last time we talked about the law of attraction. That was the last law we developed. And I said that this is, without any shadow of doubt, the most common of all the laws. By the power of your thought, you attract a certain type of people in your life. Everything you do, you think, or you said, I say everything, attract either positive or negative energies in your life. You have to know that. It's very important. Your life, the energy you see in your life, whether positive or negative, it's you who created that. It's you who attracted that in your life. So in other words, you have to decide whether you want a positive life or a negative life. This is the time, the end time. I didn't say again, I'll repeat it, this is the end time, not the end of the world. The end of time, a time it's a season, it's a period, it's something, it's an era. So it's over that season we used to live. That's the end of end time. It's not the end of the world. The world will always be here. There will always be a new, Earth. Planet Earth is not going to disappear. It will be here. All right? But the end of where we used to function in ignorance, we used to function in lies, hatred, a lust of the eye, lust of flesh, the pride of life, it's over. You won't be able to actually function in the new matrix with these ingredients. The new ingredients are love, peace, justice, righteousness, gratitude, tolerance. These are the new ingredients. So the things you see in your life that you don't like, don't blame anybody else. It's you who attracted those things in your own life. That's the law of attraction, right? I know it has been misunderstood. People think the law of attraction, I attract the guy that has muscles in my life, because everything has been sexualized. Everything. Nobody uses their brain anymore and the power in their mind, because your mind is more important, is really you. Because as a man or a woman thinks, so is he or she. It's not about your physical attraction. Okay, forget about that, because it's not going to work anymore, all these physical attractions. Yeah? A new world. So I said, that's what I said in the other part. I said something about mothers and the fathers as a parent. Stop telling your children when they come, they want to engage in a courtship or they are with somebody they actually, what you would say, seeing. Somebody they want to be together, they want to marry, somebody they want to live with. And they ask you, they say, this guy, you know, I like him, but, or this lady, I like her, but she's not sexy. I don't feel comfortable, comfortable being around him, but somehow I love her, somehow I love him. And you, the father or the mother, said, oh, my son, my daughter, you see, me and your mother, for example, or me and my partner, he is not, or she is not really my style. But, you know, when you reach a certain age, you just want, you know, a man in your life, you just want a woman in your life, a lady in your life, you know, a partner. So I just, you know, we're living, it's okay, I'm moving. You're making the biggest mistake ever telling them that. Because your son is not 50, he's not 40, he's not 35, perhaps not even, you know, 40, like you. Or if you are in your 60s, your son or your daughter, she's not 60. So you're telling them really at your age, you can go and make sure you get a good one for yourself. Leave that unsexy man, because it's not sexy. Don't say that. Sit your son or your daughter and tell them and say, listen, when you talk to this lady, what do you think she has in her mind? How does she think? How does he think? What sort of stuff you see coming out of his mouth? Because in the fullness of the mouth, then the mouth of the heart, sorry, the mouth speaks. Yeah, it's very important. And then they will tell you, no, this guy is very intelligent. He's a guy who calms me peacefully. He's a lot of wisdom. This lady, when she speaks to me, I feel like, yes, she shows me that side of me that needs to change so that I can move forward. They say, that's the man you want. That's the woman you want in your life. Right? I close this quote right now and carry on with the next stage. Now, I need to say this because it's a very important. Again, you know, as I'm speaking, some of you are waiting for this series to finish so that you can start practicing what we're talking about. No, you have to start doing it right now. slowly moving into this. It's very important, all right? Because you have to know something. You read it, and it says that a tongue is like a rudder. Your tongue is like a rudder. What is a rudder? As though it says the tongue is the smallest element in your body, but it's like a rudder. What is a rudder? A rudder is the smallest element that you have in a ship. Every ship has a rudder. It's compared to the engine, compared to everything else in the ship or boat, the rudder is the smallest. Yet, is the most important element. Because without the rudder, the ship can neither move to the left or turn to the left or turn to the right. You need a rudder to function so that a ship can turn to the left, or a boat can turn to the left or to the right. Very important. Very, very important element. But let me tell you some truth about that perhaps you have not realized yet. A rudder, as important as it is useless to a ship that is not moving. I'll say this again. A rudder, as important as it is almost, I would say, indispensable. You must have a rudder for a ship to turn to the left or to the right, for it to be launched into the deep of the waters. Because it gives you direction. That's what directs you. Directs the ship. Directs the boat. The ship cannot be directed without the rudder. But as important as it is useless to a ship that is not moving. You got it. I don't have to break it down for you. You can listen to everything I'm saying here. All the laws that govern the universe. But if you're not moving, nothing. Your direction will not change. You keep on doing the old thing. In order for you to change the direction, because the only constant in the economy of the Almighty is called change. To change the direction, to trade your old one to the new one, you need to be moving, doing something. Most people in their lives, the reason they don't move is simple. It's simple. They don't move. And that comes to a point where I said to my friend, lately I said, you know, a person that do not know where to place their feet, they will never run. Never. Where there's a marathon, they will never run. Why? They don't know where to place their feet. And they fear always in their lives that if I start running, there will be obstacles and I will stumble and fall. There will be something there that will stop me from reaching my goal. I will fall. I've never been there before. I don't know what's going to happen. Why should I try this? What if it doesn't work? So all your energy is towards what you don't like or fear, what might happen in the negative. But you forgot the positive. As I said, it's your thought, your action, and your words that determine or attract whatever you want in your life, whether in a positive or negative. So when running in that state of the mind or in a negative, all your energy will be concentrated to look at obstacles instead of looking at the goal. Where you're going. You will not be looking at what is going to be achieved. As a positive, you'll be looking at the obstacles because you don't know where to place your feet. That's a danger. And you coming out of it. Because in this we are together through love, righteousness, peace. Yeah? Together. Justice. Gratitude. Love above everything. Okay? Then I have to answer that email from a friend who called me, and they said, sent me an email saying that there is a problem in my life. I've been fasting and praying and working. I don't know what the Almighty, He has to show me. He has to show me. I said, look, let me tell you something. I'm answering this email. It might actually apply to more than just one person. First of all, I want to tell you that this program is not a religious program when we treat on prayers and fasting. Because these things are the things that belongs most of the time to people who are irresponsible. They want to pray along that. I'm not saying don't pray, because prayer basically is what prayer is saying. They want somebody to blame when it does not work. You have therefore to attribute these things to the Almighty, the Creator, the true, living and Most High Creator of the universe. That you prayed to Him, you fasted, and nothing happened. Therefore, you blame Him because it's not working. This program is about teaching you about self-management. We are not, each one of us is not God, but God is each one of us, is the central energy that we represent. Therefore, you are a representative of the Almighty. The power you have in your mind to create, whether positive or negative stuff in your life, the more energy you give, the things you like, they will come to pass. The more energy you give to things you don't like, they will come to pass. The choice is yours, not in prayer and fasting. All right? Not in prayer and fasting. If you fast, it's only for your own flesh. You want to come out of certain things. It has nothing to do with the Almighty. Let me tell you something. The Almighty, you trying to tell me. That's why I hate religion. Because I've been there, trust me. I'm out of that. One of the things we do, we actually have a wrong perception of who the Almighty is. And therefore, we're getting the stuff according to the perception we have in our mind of who the Almighty is. And one of the things is that we think the Almighty is a wishy-washy person. He has committed suicide, genocide, and etc. That's what you read through books. It tells you he killed this. That's what you get. A wrong perception. You got to change. Through this series, you will change. You see things differently. So you want to tell me the Almighty is sitting and watching people, for example, dying, people going astray, and etc. And he's waiting for us to come and squeeze his hand. All right? Twist his hand, begin to beg him, so that he will then say, okay, all right, you cried too much now. Let me now help these people. That's the perception you have, especially when you hear certain teachings in places of where churches and other places and meetings and conferences. That's what the perception you get, that we come here to beg the Almighty to do things because He loves, we love the people more than He loves the people. That's not it. So prayer and fasting, put it on the side. Your mind, if it's full of junk that you watch through Netflix and other places you go, the things you watch, you listen to, they are junk. Most of them are junk. If you listen to good stuff, it will manifest in your life. When you listen to junk and watch junk, it doesn't matter whether you fast or pray, the junk will manifest in your life. That's what it is. All right? Yeah. All right then. Let us move today to the 8th law. The 8th law is the law of energy transmutation. This law suggests that it suggests that you can pass or transfer your energy to anybody around the world. You can transfer energy. You see, many people will say to you, She called me and we begin to say things. Before you know, my heart was troubled. The whole day I couldn't eat. Or he actually phoned me and he was saying things. You would not believe the things he said to me. How actually now for 2 days I have not been sleeping and I'm not feeling well. You believe that in a negative. But once he said to you that you can also receive a good call from somebody, and that will change also the way you feel. Instead of not sleeping, you start sleeping. You can change the life of somebody, not change, basically. You can actually send a vibration, positive energy to somebody who is miles and miles away from where you live. And it begin to affect their lives because we are interconnected. Always remember that we are interconnected. All right? So the small causes that you do in your life has a bigger consequences in this realm of the spirit, in the universe. You might think you're doing something, or it's my body, I'll do it as I want, I'll do whatever I want to do. What's the problem with you? Okay? It's none of your business. I owe you nothing. It's my life. What you don't know is we are interconnected. What you're saying is you're going to mess up with consequences in the universe that will actually affect your surroundings, the people around you. That's all you're saying. That's why there is a difference between freedom and liberty. And I'll say this again. There's a big difference between freedom and liberty. When you say, it's my own body, I'll do whatever I want to do. I'll go out with anybody I want to go out with. All you're saying is actually, I live in liberty. Because liberty means irresponsibility. You are irresponsible. Okay? But freedom demands responsibility. Every act I'm actually, in my life, the way I act, I know there will be consequences and I have to be accountable for what I'm thinking about, what I'm doing, and what I'm saying. That will leave it for later on, for the difference between freedom and liberty. That's why you have the statue of liberty and not the statue of freedom. Because liberty, no responsibility, you can be given to thieves and, stealing stuff, immorality, hatred. I hate that person. Look, she's ugly. She's ugly. I don't like her. Oh, look at her. She doesn't have a nice body. Ooh, how ugly. Oh, I wonder if that man didn't. That's liberty. You are irresponsible. Freedom works differently. As you should know, your positive thinking removes your negative energy. They are both generated from the same place. The same place generates both thinking. When you're saying, it's going to work for me, I'm going to come out of this, I love this person, I want to be with this person regardless of you begin to look at the good side of your partner. You begin to look at the good side of your business partner. You begin to look at the good side of your children. You begin to look at the good side of your wife. The things you dislike begin to disappear. They begin to disappear because they have no more place. Why? Because all your energy is going towards or to create the one you like. And because the energy is going to create the one you like, it magnifies what you like in him or in her. And the more it magnifies it, the part of him that you don't like disappears. That's what we call self-management. Nobody, not your friends. Can you tell him to dress up a little bit different because I'm afraid of talking to him about that. And your friend comes in a devious way trying to persuade your partner to dress up in a certain way. Today you look sexy. Yeah, we say, but it's really what your partner is saying to her or to him to say to you. And you can tell where the mind of the person is. No, you have to do, that's your job. You have to self-manage your relationship. Know your friends, know your mother, your father, your brothers and sisters. Very important. Concentrate on what you want and not what you don't want or what you don't like. When you concentrate on what you want in the person, even if it was 20%, the 20% will so magnify, will be so magnified to the point where the 80% disappeared. It's no longer there. And I'm going to talk more about that. For example, let me develop it in a way you will understand, for those who have not got it yet. There are many cars out there, models of cars. You have a VW, you have a Passat, you have Golf, you have a Mercedes-Benz, you have the C-Class, you have the D-Class, you have all these type of them. The car you're driving at the moment, when you trade that car for another car, let's say you went from Mercedes-Benz into VW Passat. You are driving on the road and you begin to see that VW Passat everywhere. You pass here, Passat is there. You pass here, Passat. And you begin even to tell people, sometimes you don't tell people, but yourself, that how come I see Passat everywhere now? But Passat existed before you bought that. It always existed. But you have not been seeing it. Why are you seeing it everywhere now where you're driving? Because your energy has now changed the direction towards a Passat. You think more about Passat than any car. It's present in your life, in your mind. And the more you magnify it by giving it energy, you begin to see Passat everywhere. Does it mean the other cars, the one you traded for before, is no longer existent? Yeah, it exists. But you're not giving it any energy. You're not magnifying it. You're not empowering it. It begins to disappear, and it disappears. You see the illusion. Your mind is so powerful. Certain things exist in your life, exist only in your mind. Okay? They can easily be disregarded. They can easily be moved away from you. So, you begin to see Passat everywhere because you magnify it by giving energy. Your energy, positive energy, is going towards Passat. Now, next time you move and buy a different car, you will see that the more you're driving, you'll be seeing that car. Now, let's say it's a VW Golf or a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW. You begin to see the BMW everywhere. That model, especially the model you have. You say, how come I can? It's because your energy now is going towards the BMW you have. Does the VW Passat you had in the past no longer exist? No, it exists. It's there. It's still on the road. But your energy is going towards your new BMW. It has no longer any being or any power towards the old you have. It disappears. You see the power you have? It means you can create. You're a creator. You can create what you like, magnify it, and your life changes. Stop looking down on your partner. Stop looking down on your children, your neighbors, your friends and family. Stop looking down on your employees. If you start thinking positive, you have a good relationship with even the most difficult person on earth. You will have, unless they refuse to change or to move, or they close their life that nobody can enter. Yeah? So you have to know it, that the things you see is the things you have magnified, you have created, that you gave energy. You created them yourself. In a relationship, if you concentrate on what you don't like in your partner, guess what? You see that part you don't like everywhere, every time. What you have just created, it's what you will be seeing. It will be even more. The moment you stop and focus on what you like in your partner, you begin to see that every time, everywhere. You begin to see that everywhere. So concentrate your energy, or give the energy to the good side, the side that you like in your partner. Give your energy towards that, and you will see how you will create a new her or him in your life. And it will be good. Guess who's going to benefit from that? It's only you, not your mother and father, not your sisters, and not your friends, as best as they can be to you. It's you who's going to benefit from that. The things that are good for your friends in your clique are not necessarily good for you. You have to know that. That's why self-management is very important. My children, if you ask them a question, every time I start talking to them, they come and say to me, Dad, we went there, we had this problem, I'll say to them, you know. Or even before they go out, I'll say to them, you going out? Yeah. Remember one thing. And they will repeat the rest, because we've been doing the same for years. They will just say, I am in charge, and not the other way around. I say, good. You are in charge, not the other way around. Okay? Don't come and tell me, she said, he said. And this comes a long way. My mother used to say to us, you come and you cry, Mama, this is what happened to me. So-and-so said this to me. They insulted me, or I've been beaten down, and etc. You see, my mother is looking at you, and she's whistling. Mom, but I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Look what they said. Look what they've done to me. Mom says, he looked at you in the eye and said, did you sleep? Did you happen to spend the night here, in this house? You say, yes, of course. I slept here. Where else? And this morning you woke up from this house and you went out. Yes. Okay. Then ask your feet, why did you take me there to be in trouble? Why did you? And that was the answer. So you're looking for compassion, what people call compassion. Mom is telling you that you are responsible for your action. You must self-manage yourself. Even though she didn't put it in that words, now that I have grown and developed. Again, there's a difference between being grown and developed. You can be a grown-up, but you never develop. That's another part we're going to share in this series of Paradigm Shift to Freedom. You got to develop yourself. Right? So, Mom taught us then, and taught my children, and they will teach my grandchildren. Okay? Focus on what is good and what you like in your partner. Magnify it. Give it the power, energy, positive energy. And it will set you free here. Because that's where you create everything that you like and you don't like. You create them here. Once you've done this, you will get what you want, whether in the positive or negative. But here we concentrate on the positive energy, connective consciousness that have a high vibration, high energy, right? Now we move to the 9th law, which is the law of birthing or divine timing. The birth of everything requires time. You have to wait before a plant. You have to wait before a plant becomes a tree. It takes 9 months for a baby to grow and come out. You can't change that. It's impossible. You can fight it. That's what I'm saying to you. Stop fighting. The fight is only because you do not want to lose what you have gathered and not possessed. The material. Look carefully the strife and everything in your life when it comes to strife, it has to do with materials. It has nothing to do with a person. You say, that person, that's what he did to me. Now, most is materials, where you place your interest, your focus. And that's where the strife comes. All right? So as a tree, as a plant takes time to become a tree, the same all your thought, your actions, and words are only seeds. If they are well nourished or watered with positive thought, positive action, positive words, it will bring forth good circumstances or situations. Because there's no need. Remember I said, even though the rudder is the most important thing, element in a ship, but it's useless to a ship that does not move. Positive thinking, positive action, positive words brings forth positive situation or circumstances. Remember, I didn't say money, honey. I say circumstances and situations. Because good circumstances can bring you money. You got it now? Now, the 10th law is the law of relativity. We all have tests and situations in our lives. You always have tests and situations in your lives that has a goal to magnify our inner light. The things that you're experiencing in your life, there are tests, some of them. Some of them are just situations to magnify the inner light, the light that is supposed to be the one that switches on in your mind, bang, and you begin to see things in a different way. This must be seen as opportunities that allows you or us to stay awake, looking for a solution. That's why they're there. It pushes you to start looking for a solution. If everything was just smooth in your life, you will stay in your mediocrity or in your goodness and refuse to get in the greatness dimension. We're going from 3D to the 5D dimension, from earthbound to a place where you begin to look at not materials, but these things, because of your positive thinking, actions, and words, you create good stuff around you. All right? Including the one you used to love in the 3D. They'll be there, but in a different form, because they're generated with love, passion. They don't control you, you control them. You're not enslaved by what you gathered and not possessed. You will be in charge, commanding. The things you don't like, you just change, begin to look at the things you like, give it energy, and it moves on. The law of polarity, relativity, it gives us opportunities to begin to look at things that this got to be changed. And sometimes I love doing this. I just say, somebody I spoke to said to me, change this. But then he said, change this. He just said, I've noticed this, I've noticed that, blah, blah. And I'll go and meditate. And I said, That's why instead of fasting and praying, meditate. I said, there's something here is not right in my life. You need to go. It doesn't matter what my friend says. Yo, he used to have this. He used to possess this. He doesn't have that anymore. Yeah, good. Because to me, it never benefited me, or it stopped me from being the great person I'm supposed to be. It stopped me from reaching my goals. Therefore, I removed them. To my friend, it might be a loss because that's what they like me. They liked me because my wife or my husband or my partner used to give me a credit card to use free. And I'll take them on a holiday. We're going to play and do all this stuff we wanted to do. Therefore, when I push that back and now I start self-managing myself, they're not happy because we can no longer afford to take them, all of them, to the pub, to the nightclub, and pay for every single bottle of alcohol that we'll be drinking, food, transportation. Yes, it benefited them, but it didn't benefit me because I've lost something in my life. Therefore, I change. When they complain, you don't have to explain yourself. Just move on. They will, I can guarantee you, they will like the new you. And they will come and ask you again. Why? Because you're a leader. You're born as a leader. What they see to you is leadership, but you don't get it that way. You're wrong. You see what they do, they're applauding you. You see it sometimes like, oh, because I'm so beautiful, because I'm handsome, because I'm strong, I have money. No. It's not that. They see a leadership in you. But because you're fooling yourself in that leadership, they love you, what they can get from you. Not you, but what they can get from you. But they know you are failing big time. They might not understand it because their eyes magnifies the side they like in you, that you take them out and pay for everything. But you losing your life is going down. You know, I don't know if you heard of the story of the naked king. It can be a queen. This king here was walking. As he came out on the street, people start screaming. People were screaming and screaming, and the king was waving. He was waving. Everybody's screaming, and the king really looked around and said, "Why, my people really, my subjects, as people will say, my people really love me." Oh, he went around. When he came home, the queen says, "What have you done?" He said, "What?" He said, "Look, you walking naked. What's this?" And the king looked down and said, "Goodness me, what's going on?" He said, "But the people were applauding me when I was passing." He said, "No, they were not applauding for you. They were screaming because it was a disgrace to see you walking naked." The king was so upset that he fired all his assistants and etc., all his friends. He removed them. All his surroundings was changed. Why? Because he just realized that what he thought that the people were applauding him was different. It was something different. The people were not applauding. They were looking at him in disgrace. That's what happened to some of you, kings and queens out there. There are friends in lives, they just say to you, "Oh, look at that fool in your life. Let him go." What does she want? She wants to control you again. Now, leave her, go and find someone else. Or go back to, Maria. Maria used to treat you differently. Oh, they're saying they can see, they might not see it, but the foolishness in your life, they magnify it. They magnify it by you think, "Oh, my friend loves me." Even when I contacted them, when I consulted with them, they said to me to leave that fool. No, you're naked. You are a naked king or a naked queen. You are in disgrace, but they, because of the fear to lose you in that relationship, just as the people fear, the guys around the king fear that if we say something, the king might react in a certain way. They didn't tell him, but he fired them. Fire people around you that sees you doing those silly stuff, but they still pushing you and say, "Oh, he has done this to you again. He has said this. He has acted this way. Oh, she has done this. She said that. Just dump her." They're not good friends. They should show you your own responsibility, because freedom demands responsibility and accountability. All right? So we'll move, and I will stop here. We need to move now to the law, the 11th law, or the law of polarity. The law of polarity suggests that in life, everything has its opposite. There can't be heat without cold. There can't be happiness without sadness. All right? You should therefore concentrate your energy to create what you want, because there are always good and evil, happiness, sadness, heat and cold. Your job, self-management. You have to create. You have the responsibility, because we're moving collectively. You have the responsibility, my brothers and sisters. You have a responsibility to create what you want. Okay? Stop blaming other people. You are the creator of what you want. The choice, your choice will develop while your opposite will disappear. You are the creator of what you want. Your choice, the one you made, or you're making right now as you're listening to me, will develop. The opposite will disappear. It starts disappearing. There is no, it's a law. There is no way you can give all your energy towards what you like and what you don't like will still there. No, it will disappear in your mind. Therefore, it will not be manifested in your life. Simple. Simple. You don't have to go and attend the next class that teaches you in relationship how to develop a relationship. I heard people, as good as some of the elements they bring is, but the whole program is just half truth and it doesn't work. 90 days to test a person you want to be with, whether they really like to state the motivation. You must be completely misled to follow this kind of stuff. Why? They're based on people who do not work or function in the high vibration. Because anybody out there can fool you in the 90 days you're testing them. Remember, there is a difference between a character and a behavior. Somebody can behave so good during the 90 days you're testing them, but that's not their character. A husband or a wife that never bought flowers, let's say men, a man that never bought flowers for the partner for years, and they have problems, and suddenly the guy brings up a bouquet of flowers. He brings the flowers for the partner. Has his character changed? No. What changed? His behavior. He's behaving differently for the circumstances, but his character has not changed. So don't tell me you can test a man or a woman during full 90 days and find out that this is the true man or not. Because by the time you're doing that, that man might be changing the direction of his life or her life. For ladies, or the person might also be in a position where they're checking on you and begin to act, behave differently, which is not their character. You want to know the character of a person? You begin to love the good side that you've been checking, you've been seeing on that man. Magnify it. There will be no need for 90 days. There will be a need for your responsibility for the rest of your life to create the woman or the man you want for a better life. The law of polarity. To have the choice to choose what you want to manifest. That's it. Now, I'll stop here. People don't come in your life like a box of chocolate where you have actually to choose and pick and choose. You open the box, you look at the flavors, mint, oh, that was strawberries. All right, this is what I want. And you pick and choose those two flavors. You close the box and you say, Johnny, Sharon, come and get this. You give them what you don't like. Guess what I'm saying? You give them what you don't like. In other words, you create, you magnify, you send energy towards them in what you don't like. And then you ask for the second box. Bring another box. They bring another box. You pick and choose and push it on the side. That's what people do with relationships. A woman comes in your life, you pick and choose what you like, you do whatever you want. When you find that you don't like, because now you magnify what you don't like in him or in her, so much so that you begin to see it everywhere, you want to go and find another woman that you will go and pick and choose what you like and what you don't like. Come out of it. Change the direction of your energy. Send a high vibration, not the low vibration. Low vibration is when you hate, when you dislike everybody, when you criticize everybody just for the sake of criticizing them. She has a small bum, or he has a small, I like my man muscled. He has no muscle. You're not really my type. What's your type? The one that has horns in the head? Is that your type? All right? Is that your style? Whatever that means. People who are walking with horns, is that your style? Come out of it. Your style is what you created. Therefore, it's your responsibility to create what is good, positive. Because the sexy woman or man only exists in your own mind. Therefore, if you want a sexy man, create one in your mind. But guess what? Don't complain for anything else. Because what you want is just a sexy man. Let him come in your life and be sexy. Don't ask for understanding. Don't ask for wisdom. Don't ask for another, because you created a man that is sexy. Let him be sexy in your life. Eat sexy. Enjoy sexy. Because that's what you created in the eye as a manifest. But if you are in a connective consciousness, you want to trade your old ones for a new one, better life. And that's the only choice you have. Because the old one is dying anyway. Think a man or a woman that you will spend the rest of your life with, by magnifying the good side that you like in them. All right, family. So we'll stop there, not to make it too long. And I will see you all in our next video, where we carry on with the law that governs the universe. Remember, we are interconnected. Therefore, we have a connective consciousness that we're creating here for the goodness of our lives together. All this accomplished by the power of love, righteousness, peace, justice, tolerance, and gratitude. Love you. I love my people. Yes, I love you all. Okay? See you next.